Have you ever wondered how Rolex keeps tabs on its watches even after they've left the showroom? You're in the right place. In this video brought to you by the opulent Oasis, we're going to dive into the fascinating ways Rolex tracks its timepieces, a mystery that's captivated watch lovers for years. If you haven't already, now's the perfect time to subscribe and stay in the loop with our latest releases. In the swanky world of luxury watchmaking, Rolex is a name that turns heads. But beneath the polished surfaces and hefty price tags lies a secret realm, the shadowy market of pre-owned Rolex watches. These coveted pieces, often snagged through long wait lists and hush-hush deals, embark on a mysterious journey from wrist to online listings. Apparently their values can soar like a hot air balloon on a sunny day. As Rolex watches get harder to come by and stay in short supply, there's more and more intrigue about what happens when you try to sell a Rolex bought from an authorized dealer. If you're not too familiar with the Rolex market, it might surprise you to learn that selling a freshly purchased Rolex isn't as easy as you'd think. The fact is, the Rolex watch market has some pretty unique quirks. But before we dive into how Rolex knows if you've sold your watch, it's important to understand what makes this market tick. So, why all the fuss about flippers? Well, as demand for Rolexes has shot up, so has the talk about these quick resellers. Whether it's a serious problem is still up for debate, but there are hints that Rolex is on the hunt for these folks. While only Rolex can say for sure, credible sources have pointed out these efforts. Given Rolex's commitment to getting their watches to the right buyers, it's not all that surprising. Some authorized dealers, even though they're not officially connected to Rolex, have gone as far as hiring agents to monitor online sales of watches bought from their stores. Every now and then, buyers who resell these prized watches find themselves blacklisted from making future purchases. Apparently, Rolex has a few tricks up its sleeve to detect if a watch has been flipped. But first, take a moment. Why not join the opulent Oasis community by subscribing? Stay updated with our latest content. Now back to our chat. One way a Rolex dealer might catch wind of your watch being sold is through authentication. Let's say you've just bought a shiny new Rolex and decide to sell it locally. If the buyer takes it to the same dealer for authentication, the dealer is going to know you've sold the watch. This isn't a rare occurrence, especially with local sales. It could also happen later when the watch needs servicing or repairs. If the new owner takes it to the same dealer, the dealer will again realize the watch has changed hands. They might even give you the side-eye next time you walk in. To dodge this scenario, a smart move is to sell your watch far from where you originally bought it. This is particularly handy in smaller countries with only a few authorized dealers. If you sell your Rolex locally in such a place, there's a higher chance someone will eventually bring it back to the same dealer. So selling your watch outside your country or region can be a clever tactic to keep it off the original dealer's radar. This way, you lessen the chances of the dealer figuring out the watch was resold. Another way Rolex might catch on that you've sold your watch is through customer inquiries for authentication. When someone buys a new Rolex and wants to verify it's legit, they often head to an authorized dealer. It's a common move because who wants to get stuck with a fake? These dealers have a knack for spotting things that seem off, almost like they have a sixth sense for sniffing out authenticity issues. If someone brings in a watch for verification and it doesn't match up with Rolex's records, it could set off alarm bells. Keep everything together: the original receipt, service history, and any certifications. If you're missing something, it might be worth reaching out to the dealer you bought it from for copies. Another tip is to always sell to reputable buyers who understand the process. They're less likely to get the watch checked in ways that could lead back to you. And finally, consider a service check before selling. A recently serviced watch with up-to-date records can give your buyer peace of mind and reduce the likelihood of triggering a Rolex investigation. Another method Rolex uses to keep track of its watches is by monitoring the serial number. Each watch has a unique serial number, and by tracking it, Rolex can identify the original authorized dealer and let them know about the resale. Once the dealer knows, they might blacklist the customer. This explains why many online ads hide the serial number and don't mention where the watch was initially bought. It's not just Rolex on the lookout. More and more retailers are scouring the internet for watches they've sold. Some have even hired new staff members just to search online ads and spot customers reselling their watches. They usually focus on local marketplaces where their customers are likely to list their watches. When a retailer finds a watch they sold, they might blacklist the customer, or at the very least, give them a friendly reminder that Big Brother is watching. It's like a game of hide and seek, but with luxury watches. You see, Rolex can't track your watch sales through the warranty card because the warranty is tied to the watch itself, not the owner. This means Rolex doesn't keep a database showing when a specific watch changes hands, unlike some other brands. The Rolex watch market is always changing, especially with the whole watch flipping scene and how Rolex and its authorized retailers handle things. To keep your privacy when selling a Rolex, try these tips. Don't reveal the serial number when advertising online. Cover the serial number on the warranty card. Hide the retailer's name if it's an older card that includes it. Obscure the purchase date on the warranty card. Avoid sharing details about the original seller, and consider selling your watch in a different region or even overseas to make it harder to trace back to the original retailer. So, if your watch comes with an older warranty card, suggest the buyer get it authenticated by a different authorized dealer, not the original one. Rolex wants its official retailers to sell watches to end consumers who will cherish and wear them for many years. When customers quickly resell their newly acquired Rolexes, it goes against what Rolex wants. Since Rolex doesn't deal in the secondary market, it has limited control over the resale of its watches. This creates a challenge for folks who genuinely want to wear and enjoy specific Rolex models, making them harder to get. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but the needle is a luxury watch. This situation has led to widespread complaints and frustration with the Rolex brand, which isn't great for Rolex. However, from a business perspective, having demand consistently outstrip supply can be a good thing for luxury brands, as it boosts the exclusivity and desirability of their products. Not only that, but Rolex can't figure out if a watch has been sold through the warranty card, which is always tied to the watch itself and not to an individual owner. Unlike brands like Audemars Piguet or Cartier that link watches to personal accounts, Rolex doesn't keep a registry to track sales or transfers. The Rolex market is constantly changing, especially with issues like flipping and the enforcement of rules by both Rolex and its authorized dealers. Whether Rolex knows if a watch has been flipped depends on several factors and often remains a mystery. The key takeaway here is that selling a Rolex soon after buying it might attract unwanted attention, especially if done openly, and could impact your future dealings with authorized dealers. So if you're thinking of flipping that watch like a burger at a BBQ, you might want to keep it under wraps. What do you think about this topic we covered in the video? We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, let us know. Give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow us. This is the Opulent Oasis, and we can't wait to see you in our next video. So stay tuned.